Hi, this is Mr. Weston. Today we're doing a Khan Academy tutorial on divide decimals by whole numbers. So there's a lot of different videos I have about dividing decimals. Whole numbers is probably the easiest with decimals. So let me go ahead and show you the two different setups that you can use. The one on the left is what we call the standard algorithm, and the one on the right is what I call the box method. And the box method is a nice organized way in which we can divide decimals. Let's start with the standard algorithm. If we have the number, which is called the divisor, that's the number we're dividing by. If that's a whole number, it's actually pretty simple. If it was a decimal, we would need to change it into a whole number before we can start this division process. But since all these problems are by whole numbers, it's actually pretty simple. Okay, so let me show you how we go about doing this. Number one, we get our setup like this. Take a look. And if we have a decimal right here, which we do, we're just going to move it up for our quotient, just like that. We're going to keep it in the same spot. And now we can do our division just like normal. So we're going to see, can 9 go into 1? It can't, so I'm going to move on to the next number. Can 9 go into 11? Yes, it goes in one time. So I'm going to put it, the 1 over that ones place right there, and that is 9. 9 times 1 gives me 9. So now I'm going to subtract. I have 11 minus 9, that gives me 2. And now I'm going to drop down the next number. I've already moved up the decimal, so I don't need to worry about that. And then now my new number is 27. Now, the next number I put in terms of how many times 9 goes into that next number, which is 27, I'm going to put that number where my arrow is, okay, after the decimal place, because that decimal goes in first, and then the next number follows. So 9 goes into 27 3 times, and that is 27, remainder 0. Very important that you have no remainders with decimals. If you do have a remainder, like let's just say it's not in this case, but let's just say it was 2, we would need to keep dropping down zeros and moving on to the next decimal place until we got an answer. So this would be 2, and then we get 18, and we get 2. We would drop down another 0, okay, and with 20, and we just keep doing this process. That's not the case here. So we're actually done because we had a remainder of 0, and we can move on. Box method is very similar. I have 5% left. We can make this work. So 9 goes into 1 0 times. That's 0. Remainder 1. Carry up the 1. That goes in 1 time, and that's 9. Remainder 2. Carry up the 2. And I like to call this process, this is coined from a student, by the way, taking the leftovers to the neighbor's house. So right here, we're taking those leftovers over to the neighbor's house, and then we just finished the problem. So that's 3, 27, and that's 0. So 1.3 is going to be our answer for this. I personally like the box method. I think a lot of my students like that more than the standard algorithm. So I just wanted to talk about that and show that process, and I think I'm going to stick with it for the rest of this video. Okay, so we're trying to evaluate 16.8 divided by 8 using place value, but he made a mistake. Okay, let's see, 168 hundredths divided by 8, 21 hundredths, 0.21. Okay, so if we have 16.8, you can see that 0.8 is in the tenth spot, not the hundredths. So that's his mistake. So 16.8 is 168 tenths, not 168 hundredths. That is a mistake, and we're going to move on from there. I'm looking at the other ones, and the other ones are, looks like C at least is correct, but the mistake is he wrote tenths. I'm going quick because I'm running out of percent. So you have 19.2 divided by 6. I'm going to set this up using the box method. 1, 2, 3. For my 3 digits, 1, 2, 3. I have 1, 9, and 2. I put my decimal up above like that, and then I put the 6 on the outside. And now I'm just going to see how many times does 6 go into 1. It goes in 0 times. So subtract, I have 1 left over. Take the leftovers over to the neighbor's house. 1, 19. 6 goes in 19 3 times. That's 18. 1 left over. Take it to the neighbor's house. I already have that decimal there. I didn't need to rearrange anything because I was dividing. My divisor is already a whole number. So now I just have a 12 there. 6 goes in 12 2 times. And so my answer is 3.2. You can see I didn't show it, but you just subtract and there's no remainder. Okay, using place value, another mistake, 1.86 divided by 2. This one actually is 186 hundredths divided by 2. So that's 93 hundredths. You can see 93 hundredths is not written like that. They wrote 93 tenths. So 93 hundredths is 0.93, not 9.3. That would be 93 tenths. So that is the mistake right there. This is just understanding place value, that this number right here is the tenths and that is the hundredths. So it says 93 hundredths. We're talking about this. This is tenths right there. So that's the mistake. And that's all we have. That's this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any other questions, make sure to leave a comment or check out any of my other videos on decimal division. And I look forward to seeing you next time right here on Wes Explains Best.